Hello GSGS. It's great to be able to interact with you through these videos, even if this year it's impossible to see each other in person. My name is Mattia Thibault. I'm a postdoc researcher at Tampere University in Finland. And in this brief video, I will tell you about my paper, Jurassic Tampere and Urban Toyification. This paper is part of my project Reclaim. It is a Marie Curie project funded by the European Union that is devoted to studying how we can use play and gamification to empower citizens to reappropriate urban spaces that are, alienated by globalization, by gentrification, or by the cold technocentrism of the smart cities. Within this project, I, with some colleagues, have elaborated the concept of toyification. Toyification, as the name suggests, has to do with toys, and it's a subset of gamification. While gamification generally focuses on behaviors and on context of interaction, toyification focuses more on the material aspect of a playful intervention. So there are many different strategies of toyification. Here I will focus mostly on two of them and on their possible declinations in the urban spaces. So one first strategy of toyification is that of applying toy aesthetics to non-toy objects. So making things look more like they were toys. In the urban environment, we can think of toyish buildings, like for example, the work of Antoni Gaudí in Barcelona, that creates all sort of buildings that look a little bit like if they were toys, or toyish objects. We can think, for example, of the practice of yarn bombing, where people cover street furniture with colorful and soft yarn, making them look a little bit like teddy bears or something like that. And a second strategy is that based on the use of actual toys placed in unexpected contexts that will so turn this context in something more playful. They will reshape the environment around them. We can think in the urban context of cities made of toys, like for example Legoland, but also of simply positioning toys in the city spaces, in the city streets. And this is what we did in Jurassic Tampere. So Jurassic Tampere is a toyification activity that was carried out in Tampere in Finland in December 2019, which aimed to test some of the assumptions regarding urban toyification. So during this activity, a group of 9 participants walked around the city center of Tampere, and for 3 hours, they positioned around 420 rubber dinosaurs, small rubber dinosaurs, in the city. They took pictures of the toys, and sometimes they tried to observe the reactions of passerbys seeing these toys around. So the main idea behind the activity was that positioning toys in the city can make the environment look different. The objects around the little toys are sort of rescaled and they appear big. And of course, new meaning can arise from the interpretation of these toys or from the interaction that passerby can have with them. So on the one hand, what I wanted to do with this activity was to see how the participants positioning the dinosaurs would look in a different way at the city while doing so, and to see if this activity could affect their perception of the city. And on the other hand, I also wanted citizens to stumble in unexpected moments or triggers of playfulness. The participants then responded to a short survey whose results seemed to indicate that the activity was somewhat successful. So all the respondents have mentioned that during Jurassic Tampere and for the days after it, they started to notice minor details or gaps in the city. They started to observe, for example, the objects abandoned by people, or to pay attention to the colors of the city, for example, in relation with the colors of dinosaurs. And they started to pay attention to ongoing activities that are part of the diversity and dynamism of urban spaces that they would normally not have noticed at all. However, at the same time, all the respondents also reported that the effects of Jurassic Tampere on their perception of the city would probably not last more than a few weeks. And while several participants also suggested that the activity could benefit from more structure, maybe could be made part of a game or of a flash mob. And especially many participants felt the desire to connect in more direct ways with the people that collect the toys. So to have an opportunity to see how the toys that they were distributed in the city would actually affect the people finding them. And so the survey in general also underlines some of the potentials of toys placed in the city spaces, but also highlights the need to combine these toyification practices with other more structured gamification strategies. That said, I would have wanted to continue to test these ideas, to make new instances of Jurassic Tampere. In fact, I already planned to do that, but of course, COVID-19 had different plans, so I wasn't able to do that. But it was quite interesting to see that another form of urban torification emerged during the pandemic. I'm talking about the teddy bear challenge, which people started to put teddy bears into their windows, looking out of their windows, as a way of comforting kids that were also limited in their movement and in their socialization during the pandemic. So this seemed to confirm a little bit my hypothesis that positioning toys in unexpected places in the urban spaces can be a strategy to make the city more playful, and therefore to create new forms of connections and of warmth inside the city spaces. That is all for this video. Thank you for listening to it, and see you hopefully in the next edition of the conference. Bye-bye.